What's up? So you survived COVID, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he wasn't here the last day or two.
I totally survived it. It gave me a good fight, but I feel that I was my white whale.
The white whale. So
Yes.
what? How bad was it?
Oh, horrible! It really was. I've never had COVID before. People say I'm late to the party. I was like, you never had COVID before? I dodged it for 5 years and finally got it, and
Wait, don't
it
go
put me
anywhere.
on my back.
So what was like? What were the signs?
And I got that weird one they call the razor throat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where it was yeah, it was weird. It's like there's scratch, like painful throat. It was really weird sensation. I know what to call it, razor throat. But as you just drink a lot, drink a lot, keep it
Hydrated.
lubricated. And then I got over it. And today I'm basically kind of, 80%.
Nice. Did you sleep a lot?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's not like you.
Like
You
to the
probably
point,
didn't
no.
even see a movie.
To the point where I was so tired of sleeping, but was too tired to not sleep. Which is weird. And you don't get good rest. It's just like, oh my God, I can't stay awake. And I am so tired of just laying here.
It kicks your ass.
Yeah.
I mean, like my wife, she got it in like January or February, and the second year, and she's always struggled with it. It's always
My taste's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never had good taste. Oh, you mean
exactly?
food.
Yeah. And music and everything. It's just all completely changed.
I'm into opera. Rock
exactly.
opera. That's it. It's
but yeah, I thought that was weird.
Really? Is it that? Yeah, because
It's dramatically different.
It was an odd thing. Man, I laid in bed for like 3 days, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm better. Jack was sick for that, and then that was it. And I got a couple of the vaccines, and I didn't, turn into a pumpkin or become, what was it? I didn't become, remember when they thought if you walk by the 5G towers that you were going to be magnetic or something? I got no superpowers.
I started to say that would be epic.
Yeah, that was one of the big things that you from that. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I can't deal with you people.
Oh, speaking of superpowers, did you hear apparently Fantastic Four is a flop?
So I heard my buddy at work, Ken, went and saw it, and he really liked it.
Yep.
And he's like, man, it was great because it was just entertainment and it was nothing else. There was no preaching to me. It was just like they were out there having fun and they're fighting Galactic guy, whatever the hell it is trying to eat the earth. And it wasn't trying to eat the earth because of climate change. It was just trying to eat the earth.
And it was fun. It was a tremendous amount of fun. Problem is, they had to, was it 800 million to break even?
Something like that. I mean, you and I, 200 million was the budget. So double that's 400 million. How you get to 800 million from there? And again, I'm not great at math. Maybe it's the same person that was working.
Theaters usually take about half of the ticket sale. So if you sold 800 million, you would get 400 million, the studios on average.
Well, they get a quarter to 50 cents, maybe $1 the first few weeks. And then that goes up from there because they recognize, it's that. And then that's why they charge $45 for a large soda. Why don't you just charge me $3 for what would be a normal human being soda?
Yeah.
As opposed to a bucket for $37. Well, which I'm going to drink before the trailers are done. Then I'm going to have to run out and piss.
And if 7-Eleven can give me a super big gulp for $1.99, well, that literally is basically the size of a small child.
Yeah.
I think though theaters should just do high end. If you're going to charge that, you have you can buy Coke or you can buy the super fancy Coke made with, organic cocoa powder or something.
The new stuff that they're rolling out.
Yep.
It tastes better, but it's not like it's making you any healthier. It doesn't. No, it's like so much of that stuff's been debunked, but it does taste better.
I would totally if they had real butter to put on popcorn, not the butter sauce they have, but if they were like, oh, here's, hot melted butter.
So you got a stick and just chop out how much you want for this?
They get a torch and a stick and just.
Well, I mean, somebody just said that, they make their money off of
concessions.
Concessions, yeah. Because my buddy, remember Dan, the movie man, when he used to be a manager at the Regal, he used to tell me, it could cost us $0.25 for a large popcorn to make. So when we're charging you $8, we're winning.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm like, that's a win, dude. Like, that's better than heroin.
We spent almost $70 just getting a nacho, a hot dog, and some candies and the drinks. I forgot what, but it wasn't like just one thing, but still, I was like, it was 60 something. And you're like, okay,
That's insane.
If I went to 7-Eleven, I got out of here for $10.
But you know what? They got to make their money, and they really hurt during the pandemic, where nobody saw movies, and movies have never really, like, a movie has returned here or there. Some stuff has come back here or there. Obviously, was it Barbenheimer was a big deal for a while, but they still have not come back. I mean, I used to see a movie a week. I have seen, since the pandemic, two movies, I think I've been to.
Oh, wow.
I went and
we
saw,
still have the subscription, so I go and see as many as we can because we enjoy them. But, Minecraft, Lilo and Stitch, things that people already know are the only things that are actually making money.
Why is this flopping?
I think it's not as widely recognized superheroes. And honestly, I think people are a little turned off by Marvel. This wasn't preachy, but they expect it to be preachy. Like Ironheart was a black woman Iron Man with a trans, partner and cross-dressing, what is it? Them, they, no joke. I wasn't joking. And people are like, that's what they're expecting to see in a Marvel movie. And I think they don't pay attention. They're like, I just don't want to see that junk.
And on top of that, again, it's expensive as hell now.
Yeah.
Then you couple that with the fact that for $400 million, I don't think the Fantastic Four is a $400 million movie.
No. I
think you're reaching there. I think for all the things that you have with the Fantastic Four, and they were great, it's $100, $200 million movie. It's not $400 million, $500 million.
And it's supposed to set up the whole new next, I guess, 10 years of Marvel films. The whole Secret Wars and, Doctor Doom and all that stuff. I think, unfortunately, I don't think you didn't have to set up Thanos. You got people already excited about the universe. And then in came Thanos, and he was fun. And, and Avengers is this giant, blockbuster.
Thanos was fun, by the way.
Thanos was just fun. He was a bad guy that most people had no idea who he was. Doctor Doom, is one of the coolest Marvel villains, but it's very geeky. Like, I don't even know if most people know who Doctor Doom is.
I mean, yesterday I was talking to so the guy was filling in for Bell, my producer. He's a nerd, so you would like him. And Mason first we were talking on the air about Dungeons and Dragons, which I know just people are like, holy shit,
pretty amazing, yeah.
And but he talked about, like, I've got to go see Superman again. I've already seen it twice, but there's some things I want to go back, because he's really into, that stuff. And I was just like, it'll be out in the I'll pass on HBO Max one day and I go, I'll probably watch that.
That also lost its money.
Yeah.
So we probably won't be, we will see sequels, because what I think is going to save Hollywood is AI. Stop spending the money. They showed that Superman flying sequence. They showed, it took, a team of 20, cost, I forgot how ridiculous amount, or one dude, $500.
$500 in 6 hours.
Yeah. And you're like, you just make that same movie. Just Hollywood needs to wake up.
Well, I mean,
it's a very, 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 very irritating industry. And I'm going to say this from working in it. It's irritating beyond belief.
Change, man. They're still struggling with change.
Oh, 100%.
Because they're all trying to figure out, where do they fit into this? Like, if you're 80 and you've been in Hollywood since the 50s, you're not worried about this shit, because you're about done. If you're 35 and you're in Hollywood and you're trying to make this stuff work, you're trying to figure out where you go, because something just came along that is now delivering all the things that you do in a way that is quicker, cheaper, and may at times be even better.
And there seems to be this common problem of them wanting to be in Hollywood. They want to do movies and TV series like Hollywood.
They want to be on a lot.
They want to literally have this kind of like their balls itched all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to make money.
Yeah.
I want to make entertainment that makes money. And It's one of our business model is to, I don't care about all that. I'm not making art.
No,
I want to make a profit.
dude, if we wanted to make art, you and I would be freaking outside being wacky, freaking half dressed, which would thrill everybody, and doing paintings. That's not, we want to make money. I don't care about art.
Exactly. And it's like, oh, they want to work with actors that they know or they've seen. You're like, I'm happy to work with an actor. It's a good actor that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. I care about the performance and now we just invent them.
Mm-hmm. Do you see Guess and Vogue came out and they're like, yeah, those are fake models. Those aren't real. Those are AI on the cover of all of Vogue and Guess and all their new.
Oh, did they start? Yeah, well,
yeah.
We did a lot of testing for a lot of those big fashion brands. And again, they were the same very, very, it was about a year ago. Didn't want to really do AI, but it's inevitable.
Yeah.
So it's funny to see that they're quietly doing it.
Yeah. They said, oh, we're not getting rid of the marketing agency. And there's like, we're not getting rid of them yet. And, the interesting thing, though, the backlash that came from it, not from the models themselves, but from the people saying, no, we want to see we're going to see real people wear real clothes. And, not this kind of thing, which I thought was kind of interesting. Not even just
there's a lot of backlash coming,
but it was one of those things where people were like, oh, hold on, because and the other thing is too, it was kind of like Guess kind of did it up, so it was like Jessica Rabbit. It was like it was completely impossible to be that.
Yeah.
So they kind of like that was a little bit much.
Well, it is true that AI makes their models perfect, and when you see them walking and stuff, it is very funny. I now can tell an AI model pretty much off the bank for a couple reasons. When you see them in motion, and you're like, only AI moves like that, which is very funny, and I think that's the biggest tell right now. But again, some of the newest algorithms, you cannot tell it's not just a photograph.
No.
So all these people backlash like, I want to see real people in real. Well, you're not seeing a real person, you're seeing a photograph. So that's not a real person to start with. So how do you know if you can't tell the difference?
Like you and I talked, like the first thing that we thought would be in trouble from the photography side was going to be food.
Yeah.
And not you taking a picture of your, going to the claim jumper, or the Sizzler, or whatever you were doing and take a massive No, we're talking about actual food advertisement was going to be a massive issue because you can make it perfect.
Our guys just finished a Arby's commercial in Turkey, which was very interesting because, I think there's these markets they're testing in that don't get the same kind of backlash. I didn't know Arby's was even in Turkey to start with, but it looks just like an Arby's commercial. They're eating the sandwich. The Arby's sandwich looks very good.
Does it have Ving Rhames or whatever going, we have the meats?
No. It had a Turkish guy going,
was it?
Something
they don't have the meats.
Exactly. Yeah.
They only have some meats and some of it's challah. So get ready for that.
Exactly. But it was really funny how, if you look at it, you're like, you can't tell that's not just a person eating a sandwich.
Yeah.
It's like,
how long that take?
I think that took them about a week or two to get an Arby's level commercial, which, it's a big company. So it has to look like a primetime, commercial. But it's just all behind a computer. They didn't have to get an actor or sign releases or schedule times and films, and everything that goes with shooting is gone. Getting the cameraman, getting a PA to make sure that the footage is being uploaded to the right drives so it doesn't get lost. There's all this that goes into it, and like, why do I want any of that?
I don't know.
I don't. Yeah,
I'm
like, just give me all AI. This old thing just feels like. It feels like, now I can go buy a leather jacket. I don't have to go kill a cow, tan the leather, shape a pattern, and then sew it myself. I can just go buy a leather jacket.
That's the beauty of it. It's like, right there. It's like even hunting. I understand why people do it, and but for me, I drive by 45 places that have food. So
yeah, it's like so I think that but the new thing, Amazon just invested in a company that will create entertainment for you. So you just type in you want. It started with South Park, and so it makes South Park episodes that you ask it to make.
It's gonna be funny when South Park's like, let's defer to one of them.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't feel like doing it this week. Well, let's have some fun. I got something for you, Paul. Something I knew you were gonna love. So you guys are all gonna like this video. This is a lady who is trying to talk about, I think it's the Incas.
No.
And then we're overlooking all the good things that they did. You know, you guys are focusing on, you know, the sacrifice.
Human sacrifice, yeah.
Stuff like that. They did some good stuff too. All right. Right. You know, and it wasn't like all the time. And a lot of people volunteered for it. But she's like, but you guys, the good stuff.
I will die on this hill. I'm specifically talking about the Inga here. We're not talking about the Mexica. That's a whole separate type of sacrifice. If we're just looking at Tawantinsuyu, the Quechua people of the Incan Empire, they practiced sacrifices like most other civilizations throughout history did in times of crisis. So famine, natural disasters. But the unique thing about the Quechua is that when you're looking at like the Incan civilization, you essentially have the elites and then you have everyone else. Sacrifices were volunteers from the elite class because they believed that the elites were closer to the gods and could therefore appease them better. Also, in terms of sacrifice, they were kind about it. Hear me out. Because unlike the Mexica, when you're like ripping out a still beating heart out of someone's chest, the Inca would intentionally use coca leaves and would use chicha and would drug up the sacrifice and then leave them on a mountain, a cold, chilly mountain, to be exposed to the elements. Which, if you're good, a volunteer sacrifice where you're heavily drugged before you die. Also, I mean, I can equate human sacrifice throughout history to so many things. And I think the fact that a lot of people are commenting, oh, but the sacrifice, is again indicative of the fact that you have received a quite white education because you are knowing them for the bad things that they have done and not all of the wonders that they accomplished. So I hope that this maybe helps you understand a different part of my most favorite civilization of all time, the Inca.
All right, fantastic. They would have loved you.
She has a great point. You know what? We only talk about the bad things the Nazis did. What about all the great things?
Well, like, I mean, look, it's a civilization. We can go back. You look in the Bible, they were sacrificing some stuff. Hey, why don't you take this guy up on the hill and do me a solid? Wait, what? But, you know,
if there is no way that the mental gymnastics you have to do in order to try and justify human sacrifice. I mean, it literally is, you know, let's talk about, you know, slavery in the South. There's a lot of good things happen that we always focus on the bad. Why don't we focus on all the good things that slavery did? It taught some people how to read. I don't know. It's like, if that's how you're going to play the game, you're going to be like, well, it did. It taught some people literacy. It taught, you know, it's like, okay.
Yeah, you did have to. Well, when you think of the Incas and the, you know, the Mayans and all that, you know, the Aztecs, people start thinking, the first thing you think of for the most part is, you know, that was kind of, what about this? And then you guys fought that. And then all of a sudden you were killing each other. And I've seen Apocalypto.
Yep. Now, I mean, it is amazing that civilization. I mean, I found out a statistic that just blew my mind the other day. There's like, I think like 50 pyramids in Egypt.
Yeah.
Like, you know how much was in South America and Mesoamerica?
No.
44,000 we found so far.
That's insane.
That's insane. I was like, I've never heard that before. I'm like, wow, those people were just building pyramids left and right.
That's it.
So, you know, maybe if you kill enough people, it encourages you to build more, so you don't want to be the one that gets killed. I don't know.
I have no idea. I mean, I couldn't tell you. What look. We do. We look at this because not just white education across the board in modern times looks at this and goes, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, yeah, it was funny. There was a YouTube channel, and it was a professor from Mexico City College. He was Mexican, and his YouTube channel got a strike because he was talking about how horrible the Aztecs and the human sacrifice was. And YouTube considered that racist. And he's like, I'm a professor of Mesoamerican studies in Mexico City. I'm a Mexican, and this is literally where the Aztecs were. It's just hilarious.
It's
and
like
to just
the guy
see the
that got in
truth.
trouble. That's a big history guy on YouTube, and he's teaching a history class at Berkeley, and they're we got to shut your channel down. You're talking about the Nazis. Yeah, because it's World War II history. We can't leave out them.
Exactly. It is. But again, it's just odd. Our society, because it has to accept everything, is now bending over backwards to find justification for any horrible atrocity. And honestly, I don't know if you've I see this all the time now. The amount of pro-Hitler stuff is just disturbing.
It is. I mean, Hitler's made a comeback.
He's made he's made this giant comeback.
You go on like TikTok or you go on some of these things and they're all, what's one person that was vilified through history that maybe got it right? And then they show like 32,000 comments and they're all blanked out because they've been, it's weird. And, Kanye's probably like, I was telling you guys. I was like, what?
Exactly, yeah. But I'm like, why in a society, because we have to accept everything, that we lost our ability to say, no, this is bad, this is good. I do not accept everything. I don't just go, oh yeah, just because you want to believe X, Y, and Z, I have to accept and live your belief system.
Yeah,
it's a twisted place where we've ended up allowing a small set of incredibly low IQ, ignorant people, and the amount of intelligence they have in learning doesn't equate there,
right? Because everything's in a book, it's in the past, they never lived it. Just like we haven't, and they also will never live it because we don't have the time machine to take them back. And so they can theorize about all the, well, what about this and what about, yes, I mean, all cultures, I'm sure in some way, shape, or form had their good. We're not saying that, but you kind of like, no, let me tell you, they were really good, right?
Yeah.
Like they gave you like the little coca thing, and then he kind of knocked you out, and then they put you up on a mountain.
Patted you on the back.
Hypothermia. The other guys were bad, though. I'm not defending them. They ripped out hearts. You're like, okay. I mean,
But it's also like they act like, Cortez and, the Spaniards basically overthrew the Aztecs and that whole thing by themselves. No, it was about, again, it was like something like 40,000 warriors decided to go with the Spaniards to help destroy them because they're like, these people keep killing.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to support that system anymore, their own people. So it is, again, it's just one of those crazy concepts where people are just somehow defend anything not white.
Yeah, it's not even about the it's this want to find beauty and all this stuff. And what's that old saying that, some things are only so stupid that only an academic could believe it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And that's one of those things.
And it wasn't Reagan. He said, it's not that, that they've learned too much. It's that they've learned too much that just isn't so.
Yeah. Well, it's all theory. Everything, a lot of it's theory.
Yep. All of a sudden you're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And that theory, there's multiple, now they have, they're trying to make it, where Vikings, there was these women warriors and stuff. Well, I don't know if there was a very good woman historian was like, there's no real proof of any of that. Yeah. What they found was some ceremonial things, which could have been a husband burying and mourning his wife.
Like somebody digging somebody up near Anaheim or Orlando, and they have a crown from Disneyland. They're like, this person must have been a great princess or warrior.
Exactly. And they revered mice. They must have been
like giant mice. There's no doubt it was giant mice. That's fantastic. Speaking of Trump here, I think you'll love this, Paul. So let's go here.
He was on the roof.
This is the most hated people or admired people. The bottom, the most disdained person, according to Gallup, is Elon Musk.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Did you see that they gave him a $30 billion pay packet yesterday? And the reason being from Tesla is because they want him to remember, hey, you run Tesla. Focus on Tesla. Because we're having some issues. Focus on Tesla. How about helping us out here? Because the board is not happy. Benjamin Netanyahu, which he should have been below freaking Elon.
Well, you
Marco
realize-
Rubio, I didn't understand.
I don't understand Michael Rubio at all. Oh, you
I-
know what I do understand?
What?
Who did this poll?
The scallop.
Yeah, it literally, they probably did it to 65 and older people that watch CNN and MSNBC, because if you probably did that to the younger generation, they'd be like, Marco who?
Yeah, Marco. Well, yeah. Well, and this is not entertainers, not singers. It's newsmakers. It's essentially heads of state, things like that. Big, people that are not in the entertainment industry. You're not going to get freaking Selena Gomez on here, somebody like that, which I wouldn't have mind.
Yeah.
Let's see here. But Marco, I didn't understand. I didn't understand Marco because I'm like, I don't know why little Marco, I don't know. Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, Gavin Newsom, Gruesome Newsom, J.D. Vance, Joe Biden, Bobby Kennedy Jr. He was the highest ranked of the Trump folk on this. AOC, still negative. And then you get to Macron of France, and it's a tie. Then Bernie, Zelensky, and Pope Leo, baby.
Well, at least the Pope has got a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta wait. First of all, this guy ain't done anything, right? He's ordered.
He's new.
Chicago.
Yeah.
He's new. There hasn't been any scandals. We haven't found out that he hid a whole bunch of diddlers somewhere.
Yep.
He seems to be kind of a nice guy, and everybody seems to kind of like him. But I looked at this and I thought, well, I mean, can I see that? Yeah, because Trump's feast or famine, and that's this. It's feast of all the no opinions. Only Joe Biden and Trump were anywhere where they weren't double digits. Like for Trump, it was 2% no opinions. For Biden, it was 3. So no opinion. Everybody else, like for somebody like Macron, he got 39% no opinion. Even the Pope got 31% no opinion.
Oh, weird.
Well, give him some time. He's new, right? Let's see. We're waiting for something to come out because you never know. Could be some weird crap.
People are herd animals at the end of the day, and that's what these polls kind of show. Orange man bad. I've heard this. So what do you think of Trump? Oh, I don't like him. Well, tell me what you don't like. Then nobody can ever tell anything. As I've seen a million of those on the street things where they ask people, and nobody has a reason why they don't like Trump. They just don't like him. And to me, that's intellectually pathetic.
Well, that's modern politics, dude, for the most part.
Which is pathetic.
Other side bad, my side good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, if ask me a reason why I dis or like someone, I have a reason. I don't just have, well, everybody says so.
Yeah.
That's
well,
not a
I have
reason.
E by my name and R, so automatically they're the other gang. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like today, everybody, we were talking about this. They're like, oh, anytime Chad has a chance to hate on Trump, I'm like, I don't hate Trump. You don't love him? No, I don't. I don't know him. He's a president.
Why would you love him? Yeah.
I don't. I have no feelings. So I have feelings for my family. I have feelings for my friends. I want him to do good. Outside of that, why should I love him or hate him?
I mean, he was on a roof today.
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
I don't know why. I mean, he was probably on the roof for a reason.
I don't. I mean, first of all, the first thing I did when I saw that, I was like, all right, I got to double check, triple check, quadruple check, because I'm never sure about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, but I'm watching it. I heard everything from he was inspecting something to he wants to put nukes on the roof, which
again, yeah, that couldn't happen.
No, thank you very much. It's like, why? Well, I want them. I think I've seen movies. I think they've got them.
Exactly.
The movies, sir. Are you sure? Can we not put them on there? It'd be fantastic to put them up there with the things, and the guy could sit in there and move around. It'd be great.
I've noticed that to any opinion on Trump, I just wait to see what the truth could be, because it's usually opinions are usually wrong about Trump because they're all biased. It's like it was funny. Someone was just playing about how the tariffs are about to ruin the economy forever. Be the worst thing that ever happened. All the Democrats were on these shows and economists explaining how bad the tariffs are going to be for us. And as we sit now, they've been pretty good. We had a first surplus in, like a decade or something like that. We're actually making the lowest. What is it? The lowest not unemployment or employment, or the highest employment rate, or employment pay. Employment pay is going up again when it was going down. Somebody was just going through the actual facts. Let's just go through facts, people, and not your feelings because Orange Man bad. What is actually happening? Oh, you know what? Seems okay to me. Doesn't mean everything's okay. No, but it seems okay to me. You know, things are going in the right direction.
So you know what? This is the way I look. I tell everybody this when I talk about the economy. When you feel it in your pocketbook, that's when it becomes real. Everything else is noise.
Everything else is noise.
You know, I don't care about the tariffs. You know what? First of all, I can't even tell you, and I do this for a living, what tariffs are on at this moment in time. Because I know some are going on Friday, and we had some with India today, and we got some over here, and then Canada. I couldn't tell you what exactly for which country, what's actually signed, what's not signed. I don't know. So when you go to the store, like for me, I was pissed. Why? Because my iced tea maker, Paul, I doubled in price. That pissed me off.
Because it's from China?
I felt that. Because I don't drink anything other than iced tea and some water. That's it. I felt that. It's not like it was super expensive, but it still didn't matter because I freaking felt that. I like my iced tea. All right. So, but you got to let everything play itself out. I mean,
exactly.
That's it.
But that's what we heard. What we heard from the chorus of you know, if no matter what Trump does has to be bad, it was the end of our economy as we knew it. It was going to crater. That's all we heard nonstop when this first started. They just got proved to be liars again, because it's not the end of our economy as we know it.
Well, I don't think our economy is going to collapse, even if we do. And I think at some point in time, probably in the next 6 months or so, we'll have a pullback because we've had a run that is unprecedented in modern times. You take away COVID, we've gone since 2009 up until now with nothing. Normally they're cyclical. Every 3 to 5 years, you're going to get some sort of pullback. It has been insane. It's natural. It will happen at some point in time, and we'll be fine, and we'll adjust, and we'll move on. The world, we're not going back to 2008.
Yeah,
that isn't happening, and that's all. And yeah, so could we feel a slowdown? Yes. Could people get nervous? Yeah, but it's going to play itself out. Overreacting doesn't help you. You just let it come. And then you say to yourself, you know, it's like when everybody blamed, the eggs became a big deal. Oh, it's about the eggs. Look how expensive eggs are. It was because there was a bird flu. It wasn't because like Biden go kill all the fucking birds. He didn't say that. And now that beef is through the roof because hamburgers are super expensive. It's not because Trump's like, we should kill all the beef. No, it's because they got the screw worm. We have very low stock here in America. And so there's,
but you can't usually hear that story. You only hear the propaganda side.
Well, you hear whatever that, wherever you're going to hear, right? Like if you're going to Fox, you're going to hear whatever they want you to hear. If you're going to go to freaking NBC or ABC,
there's propaganda on both sides. And I think the people are tired of it. Just in general, they're tired of it. They just want to say, dude, if you're going to tell me something, just tell me the facts like a grown-up. Stop trying to scare me so I vote for you so you can make sure, trans people are in every race for, the decathlon, which is all I think that seems they want power for.
The decathlon. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's important. Yeah. I think decathlon, trans decathlons are important.
Oh my God, that was pretty crazy, dude. I never the decathlon. You pulled that way out.
I did.
Right? Like I've never even. That was extra cool. Like, you guys don't know if you're watching this. Paul has no idea what sports is about. No idea.
I have no idea, and honestly, I have never participated in decathlon
on an airplane, and you had no idea who it was. And you're like, "We signed my book because everybody else you're asking. They're signing. You're signing.
I have no idea who you are.
I love that. I love that.
And he's a very famous football guy.
Yeah, among other things. You're freaking hilarious. That's why the fact you pull out the decathlon. It's even, you know what though? It was masterful, the whole trans thing. Okay. Yeah. There are 10 to maybe 12 NCAA trans athletes out of 500,000. And yet the Republicans threw it out there, and the Democrats was like, this is the worst idea. Let's run with this. Let's make this our whole campaign.
It's true. Let's make this. Let's die on this hill because it's so important. It's not.
It's not.
That's not what the American people care about.
Bad. We're not saying treat people bad. That's the dumbest thing in the world. Is like, oh, because you hate. No, I'm just saying, look, it's a small thing. Okay. And the other side of it, don't tell me that there's no competitive advantage. Okay. There we go. Like if you're bowling, okay. If you're bowling, well then, okay, we'll let go if it's bowling.
Well, it seems like, honestly, the Democrats seem to have been, their platform is, what is the worst thing we can grab onto? Like communism.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We solely stand behind communism now. It's like, are you trying to alienate just the average American?
They just, well, no, like with, and his name's Mom Dami. I keep saying Mondami. It's Mom Dami. I screw it up. Perfect example, though, of a guy that is, it works in New York for several reasons. One, he's got a lot of young people. He's very energized, and he's speaking about the fact that life's too damn expensive. Really, the reality is that, remember the guy that went on and was running for mayor of New York, and he was just, life's too damn expensive? That guy was the guy that got it all right. He was the leader in the House.
And that's the scary thing, though, because it is a undereducated or low IQ constituency, the solution they don't seem to understand the solution he's proposing. The solution is not going to be a benefit to anybody.
No.
This socialistic concept has never proven itself to be going to help anybody. But when you're not intelligent enough to understand that, you vote for what sounds good.
You're frustrated, and this is more of an FU to the establishment people where you're like, you know what? You guys want to run, you want to be mayor, you were governor, and you killed a whole bunch of people at the freaking old folks home, right? So, Adams, you were being, prosecuted. Look, for, I know Trump gave you a get out of jail card, but let's be honest, we kind of saw and heard all the stuff that you guys did. And then you got this guy who's like, you guys went to college, you got $100,000 in debt. You're making $80,000 a year. You've got, $7,000 a month in bills, and you live with 9 people in a 1-bedroom apartment, an hour and 20 minutes outside of Manhattan. Somebody going, let me help you. It works. It works because they're pissed. Trump got in because people were pissed. Inflation wasn't transitory. It wasn't any of those things. He got in for 3 reasons. Obviously, the economy is going to be the leader, period. Case closed. Secondly, immigration was so out of control, and the cultural issues. Those were the 3 reasons he got in. If you're in New York, because even if he wins, you got to deal with the city council. You're not going to do 90% of the things you want to do. So it doesn't matter.
Let's hope.
Yeah, or let's do it. Go ahead. Put it out there. See what it looks like.
Well, can New York become Detroit?
No.
Because
New York can't
badly managed.
New York can't become Detroit because, first of all, the financial hub it's too strong there. The art hub is too strong there. There's so many things, the mecca of what it is. And Detroit priced themselves out of it because the unions, the city itself was so ridiculous in the way that they went about taxing and all that kind of stuff. They're already doing that in New York. You can't do it anymore. I mean, they want to tax you for driving your car into the city. Doesn't matter. So, as Jones Jack says, they also don't have manufacturing, which is a big deal.
That's true.
It's not like, we're shutting down the old media hub. It's not going to. So there's not the worry. And I'll always say this too, guys. If there's an ocean next to your city, chances of your city becoming nothing is very slim.
Yeah. It's they're going to probably continue lawfare. Although as Trump just won that in the Supreme Court, I guess lawfare is going to have a harder time.
What do you win in the Supreme Court? I don't know which one it is.
All these little crazy judges can't put injunctions against his policies.
Well, they can put an injunction, but they can't put an injunction nationwide. So if you bring a case to the 5th Circuit, I can adjudicate that for the 5th, but I can't tell you that the rest of the country, because it's only for that case.
And it was only about 5 judges.
Now what they're doing is lawsuits. So they get one person from every place and they class action it. So that way they can, if indeed they do. But there hasn't been a lot of that lately because it's been interesting.
It's been more than ever. And it was all came out of there's like 94 of those, I guess, district judges that could do this, and 5 of them. Yeah. 5 nut jobs were the ones that were stopping everything.
What you do is you judge shop. Everybody does it. If you're the Republicans, you go down to Louisiana with all the people that are here legally that you have, because you know you've got, well, this is home court for us. We're going to get this judge is going to carte blanche, give us everything. That's the other thing we need to stop. Even I even heard Lindsey Graham's we got to stop judge shopping or whatever. That's my Lindsey Graham.
Which is very close, by the way. Yeah. Which is actually eerily close.
Crazy. We got to stop this stuff. Nah, he's kind of a little Charles Nelson Riley.
And it is going to, now they're not going to have to wait and get through like 2 years of court drama before you can implement this stuff, though. That's a huge win.
No. Well, and that came on like the whole thing with the birth, whether or not, if you were born here, even if your parents were legal, that it came with that. The issue that, and they got it. They went and they filed a lawsuit as a class action, and they stopped that. And because it's going to be heard, it's just when. And that's, the Supreme Court is going to have the final say in that. And when is it going to happen? It could happen. They haven't even gone before the Supreme Court to hear it out. Not that they have to. They could probably rule on it if they need to, but they'll hear it out. And the reason they put an injunction was the Supreme Court's like, because you can't rule, okay, so your state says that if you're born here to somebody's here illegally, you're not a citizen. But if you cross the state, you're a citizen. We can't have 50 different little countries running their own thing. So we're going to have to sort this out in the courts, which is where everything ends up in today's world.
Yeah. Which is not how the founding fathers had it. We weren't supposed to be a judiciary.
They're, the Democrats in Texas, they bounce and they go to Illinois, which is hilarious, by the way, because it's gerrymandering what they're trying to do. You guys went to Illinois, the greatest gerrymanderers of all time. They have maps that were so incredible. It's like, all right, this block over here is yours. Then we skip 9 blocks, and these 42 blocks are yours. And then across town is also yours. And there is one that I don't know if you've seen it. So it goes up through Illinois like this, and then it's just like one street just goes straight across. And that's somebody's district.
That is the best.
But this is also going to end up in court because already, I even saw Larry Kudlow today said, look, the map's going to have to be redrawn already. You can tell. And he based it on the fact that, you can't have it's the Voter Right Act. You can't, the way that they've done it, you can't disenfranchise minorities or dilute areas in certain ways. So you can't do that. And you can tell it's going to be redone. And he goes, at the end of the day, they're going to have to adjudicate that. But this is where everything ends up in today's world, man.
But then, isn't it a perspective? You have to argue that they disenfranchise minorities. I'm so tired of hearing them whine about that. It's only white people whine about that. Isn't that a perspective thing? It's not a fact. It's not that we can prove, empirically.
Let's be real. We can prove based on the fact that you guys are drawing it in certain ways, and everybody draws it. If the Democrats drew it, they would draw in a certain way because we can kind of tell in that. Now, it is going to. There's actually a case being heard from Louisiana about this very same thing that would probably rule on all of this about disenfranchisement and the Voter Rights Act that will be in the Supreme Court come fall, which will be interesting to see.
It'd be interesting to see because, again, it seems like it's subjective. They're disenfranchised. According to what standards? According to stuff you just pulled out of your ass because you're a lunatic?
Probably voting records.
But you only vote Democrat over here? You only vote...
Probably. That's why they disenfranchised.
As long as you can still vote, how are you disenfranchised?
That's why they... and that's why they gerrymander. That's the whole thing. It's like I saw what's his name say because California, they have the best shot to combat Texas, but it's because it's different because in California it's constitutional, so it's a state constitution. So the one thing though they have is you need 2/3 of the legislature to overturn that and then get it on the ballot. Well, California is 99%. I mean, they don't even need the governor. He can't stop anything if they want to run it through. So they'll probably get it on the ballot, and that will be 5 that they can redraw. And did you hear what he said too? He goes, I think if we redraw it right, we could take it from 52 seats right now, of which 14 are, or something like that, are Republicans, to down to 3 Republicans in the state.
Oh, there's only about 6, I think, Republicans.
Yeah. They can
and
just get
40% of California is Republican, votes Republican.
Yeah.
So when you don't hear the Democrats whining about those statistics, that the 40% of the state votes Republican, but it has about 6 representatives.
There's no representative. Look at Massachusetts. Do you know that there is 0 Republicans statewide in Massachusetts? 0.
That's insane.
They have no representation anywhere.
But you never hear whine about that. You never hear the media get up and
no, they whine about it. The Republicans whine all the time.
Republicans whine. You never hear the media whine.
No.
In other words, if it was only Democrats whining, it's great, but it's not just Democrats. The media gets behind them about how evil Texas is.
If Massachusetts went today and it was, there was 5 Republicans left and they decided to redraw the district and eliminate all of them, then I think the media would have a different thing. But that's not happening because there's not any of that. Everybody wants a one-party state. California's a one-party. Texas is a one-party. I'm in Tennessee. It's a one-party state. I mean, it's they want one-party states, which I'm not a fan of. I like a little bit of purple, right? Because I think you need to hold people accountable.
Yeah, but there's no accountability. The purple just means insanity. So, and instead of having, logical people coming to create a compromise, you have a group of insane people yelling at the top of their lungs about representation or some horrible, ignorant thing, instead of working together to try and say, let's compromise to make legislation that actually works for the people.
And the people that's the most important thing. And it doesn't matter because both parties are the exact same. They just have different uniforms on. They like to spend money. They like to spend it on different things. They like to spend your money, my money on different things. They all like spending, and they're not there for anybody else. And they're all crony capitalists. I mean, they are. I mean, they're all crony capitalists, dude.
I think that at the end of the day, Republican policies are 1,000 times more beneficial for the average American than Democratic policies are, and I think that's potentially quantifiable.
Now, do you want to go on who's got the best growth or who's created the most jobs?
What about who has the most crime rate?
So, the crime rate's a different thing. I'm talking about, like, if we're talking about the politics, because remember, crime rate, that's going to be a state thing. So your city's handling, or and
the cities are usually run by Democrats. So the Democratic policies
are run by Democrats. Yeah.
The worst societies to live in.
As far as, like, if we're talking about the other side of the federal side, I mean, Long Beach is run by Long Beach, right? San Francisco is run by San Francisco. New York's run by New York. Austin's run by Austin. I'm here in Tennessee. It's run by Tennessee. You've got the state side. You got your sheriffs or your constables or whatever it is. But as far as I mean, the crime, because they put idiots in who thought it was a great idea to release everybody.
And in San Francisco, it was getting so bad that they just kept their doors open on their cars so they wouldn't break their windows to steal.
Yeah.
They've shut down entire districts, shopping centers. Your quality of life.
An In-N-Out burger.
Yeah.
That's the sign of the apocalypse for your city.
Your quality of life under Democratic leadership is always detrimental to your average day-to-day living. You can argue just because I now have to live with all these drug addicts that are just like gone crazy and zombieing on the streets. I have to live with shoplifting left and right, and nobody does anything about it. pooping on the streets and nobody cares. There's this long list of things that is just, I don't understand how anybody votes for it, because that's not the world I want to live in.
Who's the cat in San Francisco? Because they're raving about him. Because San Francisco has made a strong move, and he's an old school Democrat, but he's young and he's not an idiot. And he came in, he's like, no, we're not going to let people out.
Well, old school Democrats might be different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Even though he's young, he's not a lunatic, and he's like, look, we're not going to have people shitting on the streets.
Yeah.
All right. We're not going to have, we're not going to tell homeowners, hey, you got to leave all your doors open so people don't hurt themselves when they break into your house. Like we had a thing here today, so we caught this guy. His name was Austin Drummond. He's a piece of shit. He killed 4. Then he took the baby, but he left it like 40 miles away. So they finally caught him today. But when he had his parole hearing, the parole board's this person should never be around other human beings.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we got to let him out. And he freaking gets out. He goes out. He was still on like bail or whatever, or he was out and he goes out and kills 4 people. Like some people are lunatics, but you don't let your city become that across the board. I saw today that New York's like set a record for shootings for the first half of the year.
And I just to me, it's like, why don't people see that and vote against it? This is just I need to be able to
sometimes you have to let people get to the point like they did when they recalled Chesa Bodine up in San Francisco and they got rid of Gascon. You have to let it get so bad sometimes for people to come in and go, okay, you know what? No, this is not what we want. Right.
Which again is a psychosis. I'm so against voting Republican that's policies all would help clean up this mess, that I have to literally live in a danger zone before I'm willing to try and change my vote. That seems bizarre to me. It's like, and that's what I'm saying. That's the basic life.
Here's the thing, though, Paul. You're not told.
We live on the border, basically, between Orange County and LA, and there is such a difference. Orange County is incredibly Republican.
Yeah,
we don't have the homeless stuff. We don't have if you shoplift, you get put in jail. All that. There's even signs, billboards that say you can't shoplift here, or you go to jail.
You don't come here on tour to shoplift.
Yeah, you go to LA County. Just nonsense.
Yeah,
everywhere.
It's disgusting. I mean, it's
it's like,
at what point too was like, hey, I know that guy's laying there with a needle in his arms and he shit his pants and he's shaking violently with foam coming out of his mouth. I think he's got problems. I don't think that's a lifestyle choice.
No. And here's my thing. Even if it was, why do we have to be subjected to his lifestyle choice? If I'm walking down the street with my family or whatever, this guy's horrendous choice in life, I just have to put up with it because he wants to do it. Again, it's the Democratic policy is punish the normal person, praise the crazy.
It is. They never tell you what the end game is going to be and what it looks like. They always preach, oh, this is going to be great, and it's not going to be this, and it's not going to be that, and no cash bail is going to be wonderful. You know what? You're 23 and you got a DUI. Do I think that you should be in jail for 7 months while you wait for a hearing because you can't get out? No, I think it's stupid. I think that's ridiculous. You're 35 and you're on your 12th felony and you just stab somebody. I don't think they should let you out. Right.
But and again, I can tell I don't quite like the Democrats, but I live in this. It's they can't be reasonable in any way. What you said is reasonable.
Yeah.
That's reasonable. And I'd be like, yeah, no, that's reasonable. But no, it's like, no, we're going to let them all out. No cash bail. What did he do? He killed 4 people, but he's poor and he's from an underserved, underprivileged,
he's been
minority.
Disenfranchised.
He's disenfranchised. And we got to like, oh my God. What about the people that just want to live their lives and not cause them problems? Why don't you focus on them?
Yeah. Those people move eventually.
They do. Yeah.
They do.
They go to Orange County.
They got sick and tired of it, and they move.
Yeah,
I mean, it's frustrating. It's like California. I tell everybody, California is a great state outside of the politics and the lunacy. It is. I mean, you can't, dude. It's 74, 75 all year long. It's snow skiing in the winter, surfing in the summer. It's rains 6 days a year, and they let you know when it's coming. Yeah. And I mean, it's like but. You move that politics anywhere there's actual weather, and shit changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's easy to go, look how great it is. We're doing a great job. And I'm like, well, it's because you have the ocean.
People are willing to put up with a lot because of that. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. It is. I mean, they are. People are willing to put up a lot because they think it's mad. I don't know. Did you see the Danish zoo?
No.
The story of the year? Okay, so check this out. So Aalborg is in Denmark, or Aarhus, Aalborg, one of the two. So it is a this is so great. I'm gonna read this to you. So it is it's the Aalborg Zoo, and they're asking people, hey, you guys got any maybe animals that you don't need? Like maybe a pet guinea pig or a horse that maybe it's too hard for you to care for anymore because we'd like to feed it to our animals.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so they're looking for chickens, rabbits, guinea pigs, anything that the big animals would eat diet-wise. Horses as well. And they said, look, we're going to gently euthanize them and then hand them off. I'm like, okay, the European lynx guinea pig. What are you going to do with a whole bunch of chickens for Sumatran tigers and lions?
And what's going on that they can't just feed their own animals? Why do you have these animals you can't feed them?
I don't know. Now, remind you, so 10 years ago, Marius was in the Copenhagen Zoo, was a healthy giraffe. They killed it in front of everybody, chopped it up, and then gave it to the lions. And the reason they did that is, they couldn't find another zoo for it. And he was starting to beat up some of the other giraffes. And what was happening, he was trying to breed with like his sisters and his mom, which they didn't want inbreeding. So they killed him and fed him to the lions.
Well, that definitely shows all the rest of the animals not to mess around. I'm sure you had
I love the whole guinea pig thing. I was like, okay, wait a minute here. So you're talking about the Sumatran tiger and the Asiatic lion. Out of curiosity, guinea pigs are from Ecuador. So, and how many guinea pigs do you have to feed a lion?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like that's not even an appetizer. That's a Osmas Bush. It's
one of those things where you're going to bring a bucket out to him and he's going to make popcorn shrimp.
Exactly. It's like that little palate cleanser.
We were talking about this today. The guinea pigs in Ecuador, because that's a big deal because they eat guinea pig over there. And I said I used to call up the Ecuadorian embassy in Britain when what's his name was in there, the guy that was WikiLeaks. Like, hey, is he eating any guinea pig yet? You guys have any guinea pigs yet? You guys feeding him any guinea pigs? You guys like guinea pigs, right?
You wouldn't try. I would try it.
I know you would. Actually, I had several people text me during the show today, say, I've had guinea pig. It's, kind of like chicken.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But the weird, this one person, he's like, they were in Ecuador. They were traveling throughout South America. They ate the whole thing, including the brain. He goes, don't eat the brain. I said, well, I wasn't planning on. Because you eat all kinds of weird shit.
Oh, all kinds. Yeah. I go to my Brazilian barbecue place. I'm one of only two people that eats chicken hearts. So, because chicken hearts are great. Those are just the best. They're just rubbery little pieces of they're like these tiny little heart things. But I have tongue, chicken heart, liver, all those horrible foods.
Do you do brain?
I don't do brain. That's just a bridge too far. Now, I think Hispanics, it's brains and eggs, which kind of was funny because it kind of looks the same. But I haven't tried it. But I do the menudo, which is the stomach lining and all that stuff. That's good. Intestine, large intestine, small intestine. Oh yeah, all that's all that stuff is this good stuff. People are missing out when they don't try, because you never know what you'll like.
No, I do. I know everything.
Exactly.
But I went over to remember when I was younger, I went to Europe to play soccer. When I was down in England and I was going up to play in Scotland, Chris, who was kind of like our manager, he looks at me and he goes, "Whatever you do, mate, don't fucking eat haggis. We're like, what? Don't do it. So we go up there, and the first night they have us up in this hotel in Glasgow, and then we're going to go on to Falkirk. So it's Raymond and I, and we come down, and there's like 4 or 5 Swiss. It's like it's like what would be an Airbnb today. It was like a youth hospital though. So it was a house, but the owners were there, and there was, I think, 4 or 5 Swiss, and we're sitting there, and the guy's like, "Do you guys want breakfast?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure." And it's all fantastic. So eggs and bacon or haggis? And we're all eggs and bacon. So he gives us eggs and bacon. So the Swiss, they're like, "Oh, yeah, whatever, the friggin'." And they're like, "Yeah, sure. We'd like to have haggis. Yeah. And sheep intestine stuffed and all that gross stuff." We're like, "I wouldn't do that." And they're like, "Yeah," because it's not like there's places you go and it's like, it's kind of haggis, but it's like eating chilies. Do you know what I mean? It's
exactly. Yeah.
This dude made haggis, and we're like, "Don't." We were at the train station, and we see them, and they're vomiting. They were in the they're like, "Oh, it was so bad." And we're like, "That's why you fucking don't eat haggis. Right? You guys, eggs and bacon. Freaking, that's what you dumbasses should have done."
Yeah, should have. Yeah, the only thing similar. Blood soup. Blood soup. It's I think a Filipino dish. I won't have it again.
Well,
I did try it. It is not good.
Is it blood?
It's pig's blood, and it's almost made in this gelatinous cubes.
You're getting close to that freaking sacrificial weird shit you were talking about.
They're like, "Would you like to try, a human spleen?"
No.
They did a lot of good things in culinary.
Culinary class was good up until the point where
exactly.
So that was a bridge too far for you?
That was a bridge too far for me. I'm just like, no, nope. And it's very irony because it's blood. But you wanted to try it. Like, let me try it. Even my friends who are Filipino are like, "You're not gonna like it." It's like, which is funny because we went to this one Korean restaurant, and Koreans eat these they're like worms. They're these like little worms. It's a very traditional dish. And I'm like, "I'm gonna try it." And the girl was like, she just shook her head at me like, "No." She goes, "No." She goes,
No.
"I'm Korean, and only old Koreans eat that."
Yeah. We don't do that here. It's not who we are. We're past this.
Exactly. And I'm like, okay. Because we get warned that, well, you're like, okay, maybe
I had it like when I was in Denmark and Sweden, they're like, it was, "Try this." I'm like, "Nope, fucking just take me to McDonald's, right? I haven't eaten for 3 days. I'm freaking starving. I've tried all your weird dishes, right? I've tried all your weird shit. All right. Where's the McDonald's? Where's the Pizza Hut? I need to freaking eat." And it's great because you go to places over there in Europe and there's like, "I would never eat at McDonald's or Taco Bell."
Yeah.
Like 3 days later, you run into me like, "Oh, fucking 3 bean burritos." You're like, There's a reason we're fat.
Exactly.
Oh, goodness me. Well, go enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Sounds good.
How's your coughing? You sound like you're going to die.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be by tomorrow. I'm gonna be 100% better.
All right, you go be 100% better, and catch us, follow along, like, subscribe, and then catch me on the radio tomorrow, 6 to 9 Pacific, 9 to